here we go. We have all of my buttons looking good. And that makes us ready to go for cardio dance. So let's start today by just prancing your feet. So the goal here is not just to lift up with our legs, but also to actually push the floor away with your toes. And that'll help warm up the soles of your feet and your ankles and calves a little bit. Let's try it turned out, so our knees are going to the side. Another fun fact in Amber's fun fact menagerie is to remember that it takes 8 minutes for the oxygen in your lungs. Let's start kicking those feet out. 8 minutes for the oxygen in your lungs to get into the cells of the muscles of your big parts of your body. So you want to pre-breathe like all the time in life. So even though right now you might not need to take big gasping breaths, if you increase the size of each breath now, then you won't be as out of breath in a few minutes. Go ahead and kick it out. All right, let's come back to the center. And I'm just going to circle one knee today. Feeling a little crunchy myself. Other way. And switch. 2, 3, 4. Other way. 2, 3, 4. Roll out your shoulders. Big arms. Big breath. Big exhale. Big breath in. Big exhale. Big breath in. Big exhale. And let's come down to the center. Knees and toes straight forward. Remember, always trying to remember your knee and pointer finger toe in the same direction, whatever direction that may be. Just think about moving from your hip socket rather than your foot. Maybe move those hips a little bit. Anything that feels good at all to you right now, take a couple moments. All right, we're gonna drop it down and press our chest forward. So go ahead and take your hands on your ribs today and just slouch. All right, since we have a movement of the music, let's think about lifting up and in our belly. Remember, we lightly lift in the core to help support the lower back and the pelvic floor. It should be an up and in feeling. And that does kind of press your ribs and breath a little bit. So it's a combination of the two things. You're holding in, but you also want big breath that goes down into your diaphragm, so you do both as much as you can. And that means breathing into the sides of your body, your rib cage. So let's breathe in sideways. Exhale. If you can imagine your ribs here, I like to put my hands on them, like a little tiny vest that comes together to button it. It's really tight. And then when we breathe in, it spreads up and out. Big breath. All right, let's send a signal to our hearts and minds that we're going to ask more of oxygen from it. So let's go. Just do that 2 more times. It's going to make you a little lightheaded. One more time. Okay. Now we're going to move our ribs, warming up the muscles between the ribs. We push them forward and center, and forward and center, and forward and center 4 times to your right. We'll go right and center, right and center. You can push with your hands if you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Push with your hands, it really helps. Push it back, center, back and center, back and center, back and center, left, 4 and center, right and center. And side and center. Now we're gonna do 2s, front and center. I'm dropping down my hips to get a little more awakeness in my body. Singles, we go right, back, left, front. Half time, front and left and back and right and fast again, and fast back. Good. Let's circle it. Reverse. Good. Shake your out shoulders. You can even put a little skip in there if you want to bring your heart rate back up. Roll those shoulders back. Okay, we're going to do those hip isolations. Forward goes first. We're going 4, 3, 2. I'm putting my hands on my hips so it's a little easier to see in 2 dimensions. I'm pushing to the side. 3, 2, 1. Left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Front. 2. Left. 2. Back. 2. Right. Singles. Okay, let's settle it down. The more you bend your knees, the more motion you're going to be able to have in your hips, so let's push them forward. And let's make a big circle, slow motion, all the way to that diagonal. To the side, when I do the side, my hip stretches right here. Diagonal back. Back, you're arching your back. Back diagonal. To the left. Front diagonal. Front, reverse that circle, a little more speed. Front diagonal side, back diagonal side, back diagonal side, front diagonal. Little quick. Rebound. Rebound. Good. Okay, settle it back down, and we're just painting a smiley face with our hips. So they go down and then lift up to the side. Lift up. Whew. Forward, back. And I'm using my abs to tuck in when I go forward. You notice my legs are bent. If you're straight here, you're barely going to be able to push forward. Okay, figure 8. We're going front, back, across front, back diagonal. Back diagonal, across front, back diagonal. Notice I'm letting my feet lift off the ground. Feet lift off the ground. Roll our shoulders back. Okay, we're going to start with our beginning. Before we start with our beginning, I'm just going to give you a hot tip here. And that is one of the ways that different styles of cardio dancing lift your heart rate up is by a couple of different things. Yeah? In U-Jam, which is a hip-hop based style of cardio dance, the big way that they get your heart rate up is by utilizing your thighs and butts by keeping you in a squat most of the time. So that means you're utilizing all these big muscles, and most of the steps you do are really low, and that fires up your body because your large muscles demand more from you, yeah? Now, if you're taking Zumba, or any of the Latin-based versions, a lot of the time the way that they're getting you to work harder is a little softness in the hip, but a lot more abdominal work by moving your hips all the time. So if you notice you're in Zumba, instead of just staying up and walking forward and back, or if we were in U-Jam, you'd be like bouncing it forward and back low. In Zumba, you're winding your hips, yeah? And I mention that just because I'm going to try to do a little bit of each of those things. In jazzercise, like 1980s cardio dance, it was about bouncing, because in the 80s, nobody cared about your knees in the long term. Fun fact, right? And so a little bit of that is fine, especially if it's okay with your body, and it feels great if it does. And if it doesn't, then one of the other 2 options can really help. Step touch. I'm trying to think. There's one more thing I wanted to add to that. Oh, footwork. So footwork being that we would move our feet super fast, way faster than this. This is just our like regular 8 count. We're going to add a variation now. This is A varied. I'm going to add a hop. So speed is the other way that we can increase heart rate. All right, kick those buns. All right, remember when we do this B, I really want you to be thinking back. So we're getting hamstrings and butt here. Yeah, if you're tight right here in the beginning of class, maybe it starts small, but since we do it throughout the class, as you get further, you're going to start to really squeeze your booty, get that thigh back. Okay, C is up and diagonal. Sorry, I don't know why my do not disturb's not on. There we go. There's our arms. Good. Then we reset. Reset in your room can be in any shape, remember? If you have a tiny space, maybe you make little tiny circles. You go forward and back, whatever works for you. We're going to come back to the center. There's our consecutive eights format. Here we go, left, step touch. Find your breath. Let's put our hands up today. Kick your buns. Simple one first. Just feeling that alignment. Your heel goes straight to your hip socket. You don't want to be twisting it out. That's not fun. And arms. So I'm leaning away from the leg here. This gets the side of my hip. All right, knee front. And I'm bringing that knee sort of across my body diagonally. And the twist. All right, there is our grand review, everybody. Let's walk it out. Resetting. Coming back to the beginning, we're going to start on the right side. A, right. How's your abs? Are they lightly in? Arms up for A, prime. Knee back. Find that lifted open core. 6. Now we're gonna lean away. Good knee to the front. Strong abs, now twist it to the side of the room. Back walks, out together, front walks, out together, back walks, out together, front walks, out together, press, bring it up, press, bring it up, press, bring it up, press, bring it up, forward, bring it together, forward, bring it together, forward, bring it together, forward, bring it together, reset. You can make this whatever you want. I'm going to do a little jog today. From the top to the left. Here we go. A. More breath. Let yourself feel light. Here we go. Be friends. Squeeze your butt. Good. Abs are in. Now twist, lean. I'm mostly just twisting my shoulders. It's not really a waist twist. Knee front. Add your twist, chest, twist. See the side of the room with your heart. Walking back goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, out, forward, out, out. Take it low. Out, out, low front. Out, out. Take it up. Out, out, up, out, out. One more for fun. Out, out, and front. Okay, we're going to press back. We're going back, together. Back long legs, together. Back, together. Back, together. Now we go front, together. Front, together. Front, together. Front, together. Again. Back, up, back, up. I'm going to pick up something, throw it over my shoulder. I haven't figured out what it is yet. Metaphor coming soon. Good, pause in the center here. Let's take ourselves down, flat back. Drop your shoulders forward. Long neck. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together in a pulse. All right, if you're moving those shoulder blades together down towards your spine, you want to add some more. Make sure you're lifting your core in and bend those knees. You can choose not to add on the bent knees if you are doing enough. Arms out, flat back, bent, and straighten. Everybody legs. Long neck. For me, that feels a little bit like I'm pulling my chin in, making 1.5 chins. Good. Bring it up right. Stay low. Press through those legs. Walk around. Up from the top to your right, we're going step touch. I'm gonna lead with my hips for variation. I'm making kind of a figure 8 there. All right, step, kick your butts. First, keep that flat and in. Flat open legs, gently lifted core. Now lean in. Knee front. Now twist it. Seven. Walk back. Out together, out together. Out together, out together. Take it back. Out, out, in. Out. Take it up. On your tippy toes, can you hold that balance? On your tippy toes, we'll talk about balance. Walk it forward. Take it wide. We're gonna go down. Reach through a little mini stretch here. Wide legs, both legs parallel to the front. We're gonna shift your weight, shift your hips to the right. Open up the right side of the thigh and hip. Open your arms like you're a windmill. Find some breath. Soften other side. Breathe through this. When we come back up, we're going to push back in that Z formation. Down center. Arch it up. Head, neck, chest, hips. Sit it down. Right leg's going to go back. We're going to go push together. Push together. Push together. Push together. Out. Pitch it. Out. Pitch it. Out. Pitch it. Out. Pitch it. Back. Together. You're picking up a scarf and hurling it through the air. Step together. Step together. Side, back, side, front. And step together. Side, side, back, side, front. And step together. Side, back, side, front. And step together. Side, back, side, front, and side, back, side, front together. Side, back, side, front together. Side, back, let's reset. Good. Here we go. Left side from the top. We're going step touch. A prime, wind those hips, figure 8. B, find your lift, shoulders back. Now lean, use your glutes, good, across the body. Add the twist. Walking back we go. Step, step, and front. Keep it low. Step, and step. Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it. Lift it up. Up. And touch it. And touch it. And up. And touch it. Lifting from your core to stay up on your legs. We're gonna press, back we go, back. Reach down. There's a silk scarf on the floor, it's really long. You're gonna bring it up over your body so it makes this ripply line in the art, yeah? Reach down, right side, right hand goes to the floor, ripply arc. Here we go. Down, flip, down, flip, take it forward. Throw it, throw it, throw it. Now scarf, hop, scarf, hop, scarf, hop, scarf, hop, and throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it, come center. Wind those hips. Take your time. We got 8 counts to get back to the next part. 6, 7, 8. We're going side, together, side, together. We're going side, touch front, side, touch back together, side. I'm picturing a little diamond. Three, 4, side, front, side, back together. Side together, side together, side together, touch. Side, front, side, back, side together. Side, front, side, back together. 2, 3, 4, side, front, side, back, side. Side, front, side, back together. One more time so we can get that last part clear. Side, front, side, back together. Side, front, side, back, side, together. Okay, let's walk it out. Push your hips through. Straight legs. We're going to keep our straight legs wide to the front. We're going to rock those hips. I'm pressing around. A little semicircle. And the side looks like forward. Pull it. Smiley face. Okay, let's mix those two things. We're going front, 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 slide, slide, slide. Front, 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 slide, slide, slide. Front, 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 slide, slide, slide. One more. Walk it out. Clap it. Kick your buns as you walk. Plant it center. We go side, front, side, back, touch. Other side, we go side, front, side, back, touch. Yeah, I kept doing an extra side. We're gonna not do the extra side on that part. Nice and relaxed song to your left we go. Now remember, if you want to keep your heartbeat higher, even though the song's a little smoother, you can add more bounce or more crouch. Add your arms. Lift it. Open those thighs. How are your shoulders? Are your shoulders gathered back? Let's lean. Knee across in front. More breath. Add to twist. We go back. 2, 3, 4, 4, we go out, together, and out, together, come in front. Go out, together, back, together, go. Side, together, side, lift it up, we're going up. We go out, together, we walk it back, nice and tall. Abs help you here. Push the floor away with your legs. Walk it back. 8 counts. Roll it up. We're going to Z back with our scarf. 6, scarf, 6, 7, 8. We'll go back, scarf. It's quick. Throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it down, scarf. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it, take it back. Okay, we're gonna step together. We go step together, we go side, front, side, back, in. Side, together, we go side, front, side, back, in. Side, 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 front, side, back, in. Got it? Okay, now that you have that, let's bring up the number of repetitions. We're going side together, side together, side together, side. Side, front, side, back, together. Woo! Side together, side together, side together, side. Side, front, side, back, together. Woo! Side, front, side, back, side. Side, front, side, back, side. Side, front, side, back, close. That's a better word. Side, front, side, back, close. Side, front, side, back, close. Walk it out, friends. Okay. With our legs together, we're going to go side, front, side, back, together. Yes? We go side, front, side, back, together. From there, we walk back. We do the other side. Then we're going to, this is on the right side, yeah? We're going to swoop it out, 2, 3. We're going to step to it, and we're going to either turn or squat. So if you have a slidey floor, you can do a little turn here. I know, thrilling. If you are on carpet and turning is not really working for you, I want you to come over here and do a little bounce. Yeah? Here we go. We're going side together, side together, side together, stop. Side, front, side, back, close. Side together, side together, side together, stop. Side, front, side, back, close. Again. Side together, side together, side together, together. Side, front, side, back, close. Side together, side together, side together, together. Side, front, side, back, close. We're going out. 2, 3, 4, and turn or don't turn. Bounce, 2, 3. Just that. We'll go circle that leg. 2, 3, 4. Step to it. Sway. Circle. 2, 3, 4. And turn or don't turn. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next up, we're just going to do this hip sway side to side. It should make your waist very tired. This is a very hip-centric class we're doing here, yes? We're going to go sway, 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 sway. Okay, you know what the movement is. Now we're going to add a different rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Single, 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 single. 4, 4. 2, 2. Single, 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 single. Walk it out. We're going on the diagonal on your left side. Just some new parts. Here we go. We're going left together, left together, left together, together. Side, back. Right, right, right. Together. Side, front, side, back. Stay. Together. Side, front, side, back. Step together, step together, step. Side, front, side, back. Together. Side together. Side, front, side, back. Together. This is our last one. We're going to circle it. 2. We're going to 4, 3, 4. We're going to turn or not turn. We're going to rock it. 2, 3, 4. We're going circle. 3, 4. We're going to turn or not turn. We're going to rock it. 1 more. We go circle. 3, 4. We're going to turn or not turn. We're going step together side. We're going 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just 2, just 2, and single, 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 single. Walk it out. Good. We are doing great, guys. Top to the right, we go right together. It's quick, so keep it small. Up, up, up. Lean. Knee across. And twist. All the abs to keep yourself still. Here we go. Press it backward. Side together, front. Side together, back. Side together, front. Last one together, back. Settle down. 8 counts your choice. Move it to the front. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna press diagonal with your scuff. We go press, furl, press, furl. Think about your knees here. Are they pointing the same direction as your toes the whole time? It's tricky. I like to think about where my knee is going rather than thinking about where my foot can reach. Good, lock it up. Fancy. Diagonal, right side. Here we go. We're going. Step together. Side front, side back. Side front, side back, close. Step together, step together, step together. Side front, side back, close. Step together, step together, step together. Side front, side back, close. Push it. Got the end of a song, so we're gonna take a break down, bounce it back. Make sure your knees and toes are pointing front, that your knees are behind your toes, not forward. Little bounce it back. Feel it in your thighs, lay together. At your count. Go ahead, take your head down, drop your head, relax your back, bend your knees, and stack it up. Walk it forward. Take a reset as you sip of water. Down. Chandra, is the music still down? Or was it down and then I fixed it? Because I did turn it up. I felt the same thing was going on. Music volume is okay? Okay, good. All right, folks. Here we go. Okay, we have this theme, right? Side, front, side, back, together. Do you see how that's like a half of a diamond shape that I'm making, I hope? Side, front, side, back, together. Side, front, side, back, together. other side. We'll go side, front, side, back, together. We go side, front, side, together. Good. We were just finishing the right side. I believe we're going to circle 2. Let's break this down for a second. The big thing with this, since there's all this movement with your circling leg, is this standing leg needs to be bending in line with the toe. Yeah, we don't want to be going like this. As we're circling, you want to think about reaching that toe forward. Reaching the knee forward is how I feel it. 4 circles and a turn. 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn. Same thing, middle of our toe. Rock it out. 4, 3, 2, 1, turn. If you have a sticky floor, you can go off the floor and turn. We can go 4, 3, 2, 1, and turn. Clock, 2, 3, 4. Walk it out. From the top to the left. Here we go. Let's do a new version, which is we're going to keep our steps, but I'd like you to try to add more hip movement the whole time. Now I'm adding a little booty shake in this. With a lean. You got to keep those abs in so you're still protecting your lower back even when you're shaking your booty. Okay, knee front. Woo. Let's add a twist of the shoulders. And back to 3, 4. And side together, side. More hips. And more hips. And side, side. And more hips. Remember, the trick to big hips is to let your knees stay soft. My feet are really like swiveling a little bit on the floor. That helps too. Take it back. Okay, we're gonna step together, step together, step together, stop. Side, front, side, together, hold, hold. Step together, step together, step together, stop. Side, front, side, hold. Step together, step together, step together, close. Side, front, side, back, close. Last one, step. We're gonna do it again, but we're gonna do it fast. Side, front, side, back, close. Double time. Step together, close. Side, back, close. Step together, close. Side, front, side, back, close. Step together, close. Side, front, side, back, close. Step together, close. Side, front, side, back, enough. Circle. 2. Remember, think about leading with your knee. Circle. Circle left leg. Turn left leg. Block. One more. Circle left leg. Turn left leg. Stay. All right. Let's come to the center for our swinging hips. 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Front and up with those hips. Front and up. Repeat the 4s and 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Single, single, single. Up and over, up, 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 up. Take your back front. Walk it around the room. It's like you're speed skating. Reset. Knees up to your buns. Reset. Knees up to your buns. Okay, from the top with your hips to the right. Hip, Move right along. Add your lean. Keep that knee in line with your body. Don't let it come forward. All right, and knee front. Add your twist. Good. We're going to walk it back. 7, 8. We go back. More hips, more hips, more hips, more hips. Wind those figure 8s. Your hips. Good. Breathe. Okay, we're going to reach it back. We're going to reach back right. We're going to pull it. We're going to think about this knee and toe coming together. We're going to reach it with the left. We're going to pull it. Knee and toe, nice and solid. Back to the regular time. We'll go reach and pull. Number 3, and reach and forward. Take it forward, forward, and push. Forward, and hurl. Forward, and hurl. Forward, and hurl. Now we reach and pull. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. We step together, step together, step together, close. We side, front, side, back, close. We step together, step together, step together, close. We side, front, side, back, close. We step together, step together, close. We side, front, side, back, close. We step together, step together, step together, close. We side, front, side, back, close. Walk it. We're gonna go double time in the number of things we go. Still takes us long overall, but we're doing more feet for the walkie part. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2. We better speed that up too. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Hold it. Circle, 2, 3, standing leg, hover, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and turn, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Rock it out. Come together. Lots of hips. We are going side, front. We're going side, front, side, back, together. Oh! Side, front, side, back, together. Switch sides, we'll go left, front, back, back, together. Switch sides, we'll go right, front, right, back, together. Switch sides, we'll go. Okay, little challenge. Bounce it, bounce, 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 bounce. Take it out of the bounce if it starts to affect your knees. It's not worth it. Take it low. Out. Be strong, down. Knees back. We're going swimming, swimming. Swimming, knees together, swimming. Take your arms small, protect your rotator cuffs. Small swing is fine. Big swim if you can. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Side together, side together, side together. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Single, single, single. Single and up, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 1, and 2, 1, and single, and single, and single, single. Reach it out. Find the floor. Wide legs, walking it forward. Take a moment to drop your knees and open your heart and your chest. Just take a breath here. We're going to press back. Open up your minds. We're going to take our knees in. Yeah? We're going to send our hips over to the side and curl up like a cat. Because we did so much hip today, I want you to stretch that hip in the middle. Don't let it get stuck, yeah? When our muscles overwork and we keep putting demand on them to keep working, sometimes they just get stuck in the contracted shape. So I'm going to give you a chance to open that back up for our last round. Last round's going to be all new. Let's switch. Up. Come on up. All right, last round, we're going to do a little bit of choreo. Don't be scared. We've been doing choreo this whole time. I just haven't called it back. All right, we're going to go right foot starting. We're going to take a little circle in. So I'm going to go. I'm really doing step together. So I'm going to go right together, right together, right together, left together, right together, right together. I've got myself mostly all the way back, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. It's a very strange circle I just made, my goodness. It's more like 2 zigzags. 6, 7, 8. Right together, left together, right together, right together. Let's try it. Left together, right together, left. Yeah, so I'm kind of making this janky letter 8 on each side, yes? 5, 6 with your hips, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and side, other side, other side, and side. Good, and march it. We're gonna circle 2, 3, 4, and circle 2, 3, 4. Circle. So for those circle steps, this next part, we're stepping out with the lead foot. I'm going to circle the hip towards it. And as my hip would go to back, I'm just bringing it together. So it's a step together with the circle of the hip. Here we go to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, I'm switching sides. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Step together, 8. You go 2, 3, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 6 sides. Back to your home. We'll go in place. Now we go out. Home. In place. Circle. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3, 4. All right, walk that out. So my circle hips, I'm going to keep them all on the same leg and lead with that leg, yes? Here we go. From the top, we're going to go figure 8, back together, circle forward and back. Then we're going to circle forward and back on the left. Here we go, right we go. Step together, step, touch. Circle with your arms, and circle with your arms. Take it back home. 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle with your arms. Forward, 2, 3, 1. 2. Take it back. 2, 3. Stay that side. Forward. Take it back. Step and cross. Okay. Now you've got that. We're going to turn it into a jazz square. These steps to the back, or the back of your square. We're gonna go across. We go. Right. We're gonna cross. We're gonna cross. We're gonna go to the back space and the back space. Jazz square can start either with the wide or the cross. Today we're gonna start with the wide. Here we go. Right leg goes wide. Cross, cross, wide, wide. Cross, cross. Swing your arms really big. When it starts to feel secure, re-engage your core if you lost it, and then we're gonna go double time. Work it out, shake it out, shake it out, you got it, shake it out. From that top we'll go, step together, step, touch. 4 counts, down. Left, step together, step. Home, down. And right hip, 2. Lasso it in, right hip back. Left hip front. Left hip back. Right across, right across, right across. Push it, push it. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Jazz square. Side cross, cross, back, back. That's enough. Down. Bounce. Bouncing diamond. Reset. Fine. Open your fan. Fan yourself. Open your other fans. Fan yourself. Both fans. Fan. Reveal. Hup. Switch sides. Okay, brain game. Can we do the whole thing on your left? Let's check the time. Good, okay. Yeah, whole thing on your left. We're almost done with cardio section. Then we will cool it down. Yes, here we go. Left goes, step together. Step together. Center goes forward. 3, 2, 1, then right. And left together. And right together. And left together. Center goes forward. Roll that right at the tip. And roll it. Switch right. Right. Left cross. Take those arms, hold them back. Chest up. Good. Arms out, jazz square. Think about your thighs as long and strong. Reach through those legs. Swing your arms. Okay, to the center, we're going fan. Walk around the room, left fan. Back to the front, we go right fan. Fan yourself. Around the room, right side. Bend. Down the center. Hop, hop, down. Sway it. Drop those hips down. Open those knees. We're going to put our weight into our arms onto the thighs, knees and toes together. So I'm not all the way wide. And then I'm going to sit down, holding myself up with my arms, but really opening the thighs. Find your breath. Good. All right, bring it up in. Lift up and in and tuck underneath. Just a little gentle push open of the hips. Still holding onto that core. So we're really holding our core and our pelvic floor. We're opening up the hips. Okay. Right side all the way through, left side all the way through. That's the end of cardio. Here we go. We'll go. You want to hop it? You can hop it. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Left, left together. And right together. And left together. And right together. And center, center, center. And right. And lasso it in. My friends, take it back. You go right. Right touch it across. Go the right touch. Pump that chest. Jazz square. Swing your arms. Bring back center. All right, fan around. Here we go. Our left fan around. Both fans down. Take it back. Last side. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the last one. Make it count. More hips. And down. Slow motion. Left. Left. And left. And left. And up to speed. Left. 2, 3, 4. Right. Take it home. Step left across. Jazz square. Swing. And left. And flick. And circle. And right. And fan. Oh, it's hot. You hot. And both. Fan your pretty body. You looking fabulous when you move. Movement is gorgeous. Take a big. Wide. We're gonna drop down. And straighten. Look down. Check your toes. Most of us put our toes too far compared to our knees, so check them. Bring them in a little bit if you want to. Little squat. Watch those knees over your toes. Put your hands on the inside. Hold your knees back. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see what I mean. Don't let your knees fall forward. Hold them in the same pointing in this direction. I imagine I'm like dunking into water that's squeezing me up in the middle. Good. Press down. I'm pressing my knees open with my hands, yeah? Big stretch. And twist the back to the right. Big twist. And twist. If it hurts to put your weight in your shoulder here, you can twist against a wall or a chair instead. All right. Bring it up. We're gonna step forward. Yeah. I want my feet to be still only as wide as my hip sockets, not your hips, but the hip sockets. That means when your hip bones fall in the middle, yeah? Sliding straight back, it's not a big step. Both knees are bent, yeah? So your right leg is back. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. Super square hips, that means I'm pulling my legs together. I'm gonna take my booty back and under, back and under, back and under. When I really go under, I start to feel this hip flexor stretch, and that's part of the goal. Back and under, back and under. Hold it there, both legs bend. We hold, under, drop, under, drop. Now, if you're feeling this in the knee in a weird way, make sure the back foot isn't doing something a little silly back there. We want to feel the weight right on the first 2 knuckles of the foot. Yeah, nice alignment. All right, stay low. Open that hip. Square them. Squeeze those legs towards your center line. Release. Switch it. Parallel legs. Slightly back. Bend both legs. This is a good time to make sure your back ankle isn't rolling out. So we're on, in your foot, it should feel like your weight is on, ignore my thumb. If this is your big toe and your second toe, you want to feel the weight in the front 2 knuckles. of your foot rather than on the side of your foot or your pinky toe. You want to keep it close to the inside. Now I'll help you with ankle alignment. Okay, your left leg's going back. Square, hips. There you go. All right, if that feels in line, we're going to hold that curved in belly, pelvis, drop it. This is a huge stretch in the hip flexor for me. If you don't feel it in the hip flexor, most likely it's because you've released your buns back, so try to reset that pelvis. If you have really, you can do a scorpion in cheerleading, then I would say you can send your foot back further. But for most of us, that's not what needs to change, it's the position of the pelvis. And if you're like, what's a scorpion in cheerleading, then you probably can't do it, because I can't do it. All right. Shake it out. Hopefully your hips feel a little more open there. All right. A little more active stretching. We're going to turn our legs in and out a couple times to make sure it's happening from your hip socket. So we're just going to go out, in. Move that thigh. Move that thigh. Move that thigh. Okay. Heels inward, thighs out. Doesn't need to be alive. Yeah? Now your hips are more loose. We're going to keep our hips upright and in. We're going to send our hips out to the side and up. Put your hands on your pelvis because the inclination is going to be to do this from a side bend, and we're not doing a side bend yet. If you put your hands on your ribs or your waist and you bend from there, that's a side bend. Yes? My spine is bent. I'm asking you here to sway your hips, but to keep your spine in one straight line. Yeah? That looks better already, you guys. Good. Good, 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 good. All right, notice your thighs and knees. There's going to be a temptation to lock your knees back, but I want you to keep them soft and strong. So it's okay if you feel a little like squish in them, as long as you're reaching actively through. All right, here comes the fun part. I'll lean it out, check your legs, and we'll pulse up. Now I'm leaving my hips and I'm doing a side bend up. More challenges, arms up higher. You choose. Slow up. 8, 7, leave your hips there. 6, 5, 4, shoulders down. 3, abs in. 1, switch your hips to the other side. Make sure your booty's not out, over. 2, abs in, knees soft. Now we're gonna lift. Hips are there. This is a side bend. It's an oblique action. Okay, come over. 8 counts. Slow up. Strong legs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it out. Come in out. We're going to put our hand on our thigh and really open the chest. So I'm feeling a big stretch all along the side. Now bend. Come center. Roll up center. And hips over to your left. We're reaching long. Open that chest. Side bend. Take it down. And center. Bring it up in the center. Hop. Here we go. And out. To diagonal flat back. Can you pull your left hip back and reach? 2, 3, 4, and soften those knees. Take it down to right leg. We're going to straighten right leg to your stretch. Gently, slowly straightening the right leg. Bend the right leg. Straighten the right leg. Your left leg can't stay bent the whole time. Okay, right leg straight, bend left leg. Watch your knee and toe relationship. Good, come up. Other side, diagonal flat back. Shoulders back, abs in, knees turned out, strong legs pushing that forward. Take it down, bend both legs, open the thighs. Starting with the left leg, straighten, straighten, and bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten, and bend. Now keep it straight comfortably for you, and other leg bends, and straighten. Knee toe, think about holding your turn out. Good. Now take it up, center. Our last one's to the center, knees wide, flat back. Take it down in the middle and straighten and bend. Press your knees out with your hands if you need help. Keep them out over your toes. All right, straighten those legs, drop your chest. All right, parallel legs. Big stretch here. Roll it up, good job. Okay, water and mats. It's 12:19 here. We'll be back on the floor laying down at 12:25. Yes, you got 6 minutes? 6 minutes before our 4 minutes? I need to sweep. Super dusty in here today. Remember to drink some water, but maybe not all of it, because we're going to do sit-ups. I'll give you another swig after we finish our sit-ups.
Qué manera, como él consigue de mí lo que quiera, que de partida desde la primera, haciendo lo que no hace cualquiera y no sale tan bien. Chavo que tengo la tarjeta, mueve lo que aprieta.
All right, friends. 1 more minute to come on down on the ground. We are going to, we talked a lot about hips today, so we're going to talk about hip stabilization next. Let's find our magical song. Yeah, so we're going to start with our 4 minutes. Abs are going in and out while you're waiting for me to join you on the floor. And then we're going to rock that pelvis. Alright, abs are in and we're doing 8 straight to the middle. 3, 4, 5. Remember, we're trying to press in and up, so that's why we exhale when we come up here. Right leg's coming up. Left leg up, flexed and turned out. I really flex my foot here, so I get this little calf stretch at the same time. Switch, right leg pointed and turned out. Switch. Both legs, flex. And both legs point. And lug it up. Shake out any tension in your neck. Shoulders down. Abs in. We're going to roll down. So we're going curl the lower body and up. Pelvis is tucking underneath and up. Curl the lower body and up. Curl the lower body and up. Let's go. Curl the lower and stay right there. Abs in. Hold an imaginary cheesecake, personal size cheesecake between your knees. We're going to pat the floor. Notice if your belly wants to push back out. I want you to keep hollowing up and in. And we'll go straight. And bend. And straighten. And bend. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a little better. Okay, come up after this side. Coming up. We're going curl. Twist. Down. Twist. Down. Twist. Down. Twist. Come up and down. Up. And curl. Twist. Down. Twist. Down. Twist. Down. Twist. Down. Take it up. Roll down all the way. Let it go. Coming right back up. We're going to curl up. And lift. And we're going down all the way. Stretch it out. And roll it up. Alright, feel this position your body's in. Really big bend in the hips. We're going to take that down to the floor. 8 to the sides. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now twist them. 8, 7, 6, 5. Your heart to your hip. 3, 2. Switch side, side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get your armpit off the ground is the goal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come center. Rub it up. Straighten and bend and straighten. How's your pelvic floor and your scoop? Can you hold it in? The legs. Take a little bit lower. And a little bit lower. Lower back on the floor. Hold there. Little pats, little pats, little pats. Straighten. And slide those legs out. Roll over onto your stomachs. Pressing up. Open the abs. And press it back. All right, on to your sides. We're going to do our side kick series. So we're going to bring our feet forward. So our hips and knees are in one line. And we're going to start by opening the knees and closing the knees. So this is a rotation. It's not bringing your knee in. It's not sending your knee down. It's open. And your hips are going to stay right on top of each other. So if your butt's rolling back, that's cheating. Yeah. Abs are up and in. These are called crazy clams. Hold that crazy clam open. Kick it. Bend it. Close. Open. Kick. Bend. Close. Open. Kick. Bend. Close. Open. Kick. Bend. Close. Straighten the top leg. Now let's have a little anatomy alignment stretch here. First of all, let's mess it up by roll this top hip anywhere in the world. Yay. Okay, now stack it right on top of the other one. Your bottom leg's at a right angle, so this foot is bracing you. Your knee is in front of your hip. Your abs are in. And this hip's going to stay still as you lower that leg, big stretch, and then lift it up, lower. Make sure your leg is locked out, so you want to lock that knee for these straight leg stretches, or straight leg lifts. And you want to make sure you're not twisting at all. So look down at your toes, should be facing straight forward the whole time. Should be hard because we really worked this area earlier today. So you should feel it quickly. All right, take it bent. Now make sure your knee's pointing straight down and away from you. Really open that hip. And we're going to lower and lift. If you look down, your whole shin is rising in unison. So it's not a wavy thing, yeah? Try and keep that knee back. Good, good. Take it front. Put it down on the floor. Straighten bottom leg. Abs are in. And straighten that leg. Lift it straight up. Locking out the knee, flexing the foot. Good. All right. Take that top leg, bend it to your bun, reach it down. We're going to do more sets of these. So let's switch sides though. Both knees forward. Bring them really far forward. I'd rather you be too close than drifting out here and laying around on the beach land, yeah? Hips right on top of each other. Crazy clams. If you have not seen The Rock lip sync this, it's a mandatory extra viewing for no good reason other than it's hilarious. Sometimes I think I should just embed that in a class. Talk about it every semester. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. And then we're going to kick and bend. Check on your hips. Make sure your hips not rocking back. So you're really working the external rotators in this top one. That's your piriformis. There's 6, I think, external rotators back here. Piriformis is the most common one we've heard of because of piriformis syndrome, where this muscle gets spazzed out and inflamed and then it presses on the nerve. I know, fun, right? Numbness, tingling, shooting pain. So we want that to be strong so that we can warm it up, stretch it out, and have it be long rather than swollen. Is that what's next? I feel like I forgot something. We'll come back to it if I did. Now remember, lock that knee, don't let it twist. We want to use the outside of this hip, not your back. Some of us will be tempted to get that leg way up high. It's not what we're doing, yeah? I don't want to use your quadratus lumborum, your glute for this. I want your gluteus medius and minimus to get the workout. because they're often overlooked and that causes instability. So this is a stability action rather than a giant booty lift. All right, bend it. Find your bent location, lift and lower the whole bent leg. Whew. It's a lot today. All right, take it forward. My goodness! Straight bottom leg. Try not to rotate. Can you lift your pelvic floor up and in? All right, take that knee across your body. We're just gonna stretch here and twist the spine open. Big deep breath. All right, grab that foot, stretch your thigh open. We're gonna roll onto our backs. We're gonna put our lower backs down. Yeah, if your shoulder can't handle this position, we're not coming up here. It's okay to lay down while you do this, it's totally fine. We're gonna keep one leg bent. Let's say it's your left, right leg is extended. I'm gonna come up here because I like to watch my leg and pull my abs in. We're gonna flex that foot and lock that right knee. Straight leg lifts, still pelvis. Here you go. Down, up, down. Now I wanna lock that knee because I want my medial quadricep, the inner thigh muscle, to work on these. All right, let's switch legs. Abs in, square, locking that leg, go, go, lift. All right, lay back down. Take your left knee, open it out to the side, and front, and side, and front. All right, we're gonna slide down left. I'm sorry, your right knee is up. Your right knee is up. Hopefully that's the one you just moved. Let's do the opposite side. So whichever side you didn't use, you're gonna open that hip. So we're just working through the hip fluidity here. And then we'll all get together. Yeah, and I'm gonna have your right knee in for this next part, yes? I'm just pressing it into the center. And I'm gonna lift my head, neck, and shoulders and look at the opposite leg, yeah? So it's probably not on your center line. And what I would love us to do is to stretch in an actually straight line, but most of us, our legs drift out to the center while we're stretching here. So can you find something to put your foot against for today? That could be the wall, it could be the bottom of the couch, just something heavy or stiff that you can straighten your leg into, and then you can feel where straight together legs are as opposed to a drifted out leg, yeah? So we're gonna pull your right leg in. And we're gonna hold on to the thigh, and we're gonna extend that leg and soften. Extend, keep your thighs straight. I don't actually want you to get this leg all the way straight because I would rather the thighs stay up against your body. You're gonna get a deeper thigh stretch if you keep it close than if you straighten it and let it go drifting away, yeah? I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see a little better. All right. Hold it in a big stretch. Circle your foot. All right, bend that knee. Now we're going to take that knee to your armpit instead of straight into your chest. We're going to open the thigh to the outside of the chest. Lift your foot above the knee. Yeah? Now reach from the inside and grab the heel and push the foot down. Now your other leg is just bonus. It doesn't matter where this other leg is really, so if you want to bend it, that's fine. I'm going to turn back to the center so you can see what I mean by the relationship between the thigh being outside of the chest and turn so the heel is above the knee. Yeah? Heel's above the knee. All right, extend. It's not going to be all the way straight. Bend. Extend. And bend. And you can grab on the thigh if you don't want to grab the foot. That's fine. Notice how your leg wants to go out and away from you because it's tight. And try to resist that. Keep your thigh pretty close to your body. Okay, bring it back. Left thigh in. And we go bend. And we extend. And we go bend. And we extend. And bend. Extend. And hold that stretch. Circle the leg. I'm sorry, circle the ankle. Hope y'all aren't waving your legs around now. That would be a lot of work. Okay, bend that leg again. Open it to the side of your ribs. Yeah, your bottom leg can be totally bent. You're going to turn that knee open like a frog and find the heel and try and push the knee down towards the ground. Heel above your knee. Now, if you're really feeling stuck up here, a couple things can happen. One, it can be that the knee is still pointing in parallel as opposed to turned out like a frog. You definitely want to be out like a frog for this. If you're in parallel, it's not going to get up very high. So turned out like a frog, you can grab the calf and pull the calf in. And I also use my elbow on the inside of my knee to push the knee open as I draw in. Find that stretch. Little extension, a little bending. Little extension, a little bending. Good. Bring it all back into the center. Do a butterfly stretch here on your back. Open those legs up. All right. As promised, a final set. We're going to do the side we did second first. So you're laying down with your head to the right. Here we go. Crazy clams. We're going. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and crazy clam kicks. Alright, close it, stop. Straight top leg, hips not moving. Bend that leg. And notice this feeling of the thigh staying back, knees bent, straight line. That's actually what we're going for in B. Somehow this feels much harder, and I think it's because we probably don't get all the way to that position when we're in B normally. Inner thigh lifts. All right, we're gonna take it to the other side. Crazy clams, crazy clams. All right, let's make them kicks. Bend it. All right, cross this leg across for a spinal twist stretch to close out your day. You did it! All right, I need a number 4 stretch, so if you want to join me, that's great. Otherwise, it is officially 12:46. Yes? So you are free to depart if you need to go. Otherwise, let's open up those hips.
C'était la dernière. Tu peux croire que c'est qu'une crise marque une dernière fois mon derrière. Il est à côté de mes valises. Tu diras au revoir à ta mère. Elle qui t'idéalise toi tout ce que tu perds. Avec une autre, ce serait pire. Crois-toi aussi que tu veux finir maintenant. C'est le monde à l'envers. Moi je te disais pour te faire réagir seulement. Toi tu pensais. Rendez-vous, rendez-vous, rendez-vous au prochain règlement. Rendez-vous, rendez-vous, rendez-vous sûrement au prochain rêve.
All right, friends, we made it!
S'il a dit je suis gnangnan et que je